And analysis from our panel of political contributors.
Welcome back, everyone. So what now? What next for the Lucas County Board of Elections? Leadership this past week offering up a 600-page report refuting many of the claims and criticisms made by the state-appointed task force, one of which called for Leadership Director Megan Gallagher and Deputy Director Dan DeAngelis be fired. Here to talk about that and other issues of the day, Tom Troy, The Blade, London Mitchell, Cumulus Radio. Good to see you guys again.
Good to be here.
A couple of weeks off. Let's get right into it, Tom. We talked to you in our Blade briefing earlier this week. This meeting and this report basically refuting the consultant's report on the Board of Elections turned into much more than that, much more than just a release of the report.
Well, there's a number of things going on simultaneously, and so much of it is personality based, and it's just very difficult to peel back and get out all those personalities out of it and get down to business. And I think it was the feeling of one of the board members, that Ron Rothenbuehler, that it's time to put up or shut up. Mm-hmm. And he's the two principal warring parties here, representing the Democrats, representing the Republicans, are Dan DeAngelis, the deputy, and Megan Gallagher, the director. And the important thing is for the two of them to work out some arrangement where they can run the office together. And that's what Rothenbuehler wants them to do. He's the chairman. So he and John Steinbrook, the Republican, Rothenbuehler's a Democrat, Steinbrook's a Republican. What they've done is formed kind of a partnership here to try to drag the Board of Elections into a phase where its operations are well run and respected and trusted.
Can this leadership be saved? That is the big question. I mean,
that's the one. It's almost like a soap opera.
Yeah, it really is. It really
you
is.
kind of wonder where the next shoe is going to fall, and then you've got the romantic allegations coming from a member of the board that really clouds up the whole thing as to what are the real issues here, and can there be any, I guess, confidence in the management?
Well, and you mentioned so many tentacles to this story, Tom, that John Steinbrook says to Gidio, hey, you're not living here. You know, you're an active board member of the Board of Elections here, but you don't live in Lucas County. DeGidio fires back and says, well, you're having a relationship with the director, Megan Gallagher, and both of whom staunchly deny that. I mean, you almost can't make this stuff up.
No, you couldn't. It's unusual, to say the least. The allegation that John Steinbrook has a conflict of interest in connection with Megan Gallagher has been stated, but it's not been put forward in any kind of formal way. Nobody's trying to seek some kind of a judgment on that. What's on the record here and what's going to go forward is a question of whether Tony DeGidio, Republican, used to be a close associate with John Steinbrook. John Steinbrook got him on the board. Now the two have fallen out, mainly over the issue of DeGidio living in Youngstown, trying to maintain a residence on paper in Lucas County. And I think the reason this has come forward is that DeGidio wants to vote to fire Megan Gallagher.
Be part of a coup d'etat, if
he's
you will.
He's turned on the Republicans who brought him there.
And bottom line, can this, and I asked you this earlier this week, can the people of Lucas County, London Mitchell, trust this Board of Elections to provide good elections each and every cycle? Last November, I think, went pretty smoothly by and large, right?
And that is the...
And that's the job.
Yeah, and that's where it all gets kind of cloudy in my mind. I think we can probably trust the process. It's can we really believe in the process and get through all the I almost used an expletive I probably shouldn't on television.
How about stuff? Get through the stuff. All right? Get through the stuff. Let's veer from the BOE to Mayor Bell's proposal for these water rate increases. At some point, you got to pay the piper. He says, the EPA mandates we fix this antiquated water system, and with increases that come out to percentage-wise sound like they're whoppers, 13%, 14%, but in reality, for the average homeowner, perhaps just a couple of bucks a month. Tom?
Well, at the end of 5 years, it would be, what we'd say, about $10 a month, and that's for Toledo residents. I think it's going to be a lot more than that for non-Toledo residents.
Right. Who you pay a surcharge out in the suburbs. So,
right.
I mean, a lot more than what Toledoans pay right now. I think Toledoans, by and large, have had it pretty good.
Well, what is it? Something like $13 a month is the
average,
right for water.
And it would go up incrementally over the next 5 years.
And the money, the purpose of the money, if it's going to be, the purpose of the money is to rebuild the water system, which has been in use. It's got parts going back to the 40s, the 1940s.
And what's wrong with coming forward? You know, the mayor has taken a lot of heat because it's a political year. Will this become a political issue, a campaign issue? And I'm thinking, what's wrong with taking a little leadership stance here? And
has to be done.
It has to be done. These repairs are mandated, so it has to be done. He's just the one that says, now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that is going to be closely watched is that this money is used strictly for the purpose that it's been promised. That there's no bleeding, no using of this money to take the pressure off the general fund, buying cars, things like that, that would be used by the general fund.
What do you look for, Tom, from somebody like Joe McNamara, who sits on council and is running for mayor? Is this ammunition or something that the mayor can just say, well, this is part of the job?
Well, it is ammunition, and he's in just the right spot to use it. He's the chairman of the Utilities Committee, and he's been trying to stake out a position of not being outright opposed, but of asking the question whether working Toledoans can afford this additional expense.
Well, my question would probably be, what if we don't pay it now? What are the consequences? What happens next?
Yeah.
Because when you look at the photographs that have been,
Pretty nasty,
been circulating,
really.
especially on television, pretty nasty. We're drinking water out of those pipes.
That's
Yeah,
right.
there's a look right there at our antiquated water system. So we'll see what happens down the road here. Looking forward to see what City Council does on that. We'll talk more about the mayoral race in shows to come. Thanks as always, Tom
Nice to
Troy
be
from
here.
The Blade and London Mitchell from Cumulus Radio. Go out there, make it a great Sunday, everybody. We'll see you next week on Conklin Company and all this week on 13 ABC Action News. Have a great Sunday.